Hey, it's the Ray Rican. And before I get into what I'm going to talk about, um, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to my channel, whether you're on YouTube or Rumble. And if you can, both would be nice. And like I always say at the end of my videos, you could follow me on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, Parler, Getter, Clout Hub. Name it, I got it. All right. Um, and shout out to T-Mobile. Uh, no, it's not a sponsor. I wish. Um, but I just switched carriers just because the fact I needed a new phone, and my old carrier, their prices with their phone sucked, and I needed a new phone. And they were good in getting us done quickly. And pretty soon I'm gonna be trying their internet, and I'll let you know how that goes. We'll see how it coincides with working with what I need to do, what I needed to do. So now, with that being said, let's get to what I'm going to talk about. Biden roused to nominate a Black woman for Supreme Court justice. Um, this is after Justice Stephen Breyer announced his retirement. Now, you know what? I don't. That's all I wanted. Just wanted to show you a quick article there. That's it, because basically I'm just going to talk about what this and why this annoys me. All right. People are going to be like, oh, that's racist. No, look, listen, got no problem with him nominating a Black woman. I have a problem with him saying that he's going to limit his choices to a Black woman. And hear me out before you guys freak out and go, oh my God, no, listen, he should have just said, I'm going to nominate the best candidate for the position, and then went ahead and nominate a Black woman. By him just saying that he's just going to nominate a Black woman, it's the worst form of pandering. Okay. What makes it so bad is the fact that it's kind of like the whole thing, like what affirmative action is, where you'll always wonder if you got the job because you were qualified or because of your skin color. And that's the problem with by him choosing to say that he was going to make it a Black woman. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. This is what they do. This is what the Democrats do to pander to people of color to get our vote. And it's not about getting a Black Supreme Court justice is not going to change the price of gas at the pump. It's not going to change the inflation levels. It's not going to change how much money you make. It's not going to make none of those changes. So it's just pandering for pandering. That's all it's doing. It's not gonna help you in any way whatsoever. So all he could have said was, I'm going to nominate the best candidate for the job and do that. But no, he wants to pander to you this way. And let's say this: there's no Asians in the Supreme Court. Why couldn't he have nominated an Asian? Whether it be Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever. Why couldn't he nominate those? What about their representation? Do they matter? That's why I think it's horrible that he's just saying, I'm going to nominate a Black woman. And that's what makes it bad. It's not the fact that he's doing it, it's the fact that he came out and said that he was going to do it. Because it's just not a good look. It's just really not. And this is, like I'm saying over and over, it's like a broken record. This is what they want to do to make you feel like they're doing something for you when they're not. Okay, that's not what they're doing. They're putting on a dog and pony show for you in order to go, oh look, Biden nominate a Black woman. That means he's for Black people. No. If nominating someone just because of their skin color, look what that got us. That got us Harris. And she's one of the worst vice presidents on record. It's like she doesn't do nothing. Pence did a lot of stuff. Cheney was evil. And Gore was just Gore. He's, Quayle was an idiot, and Bush became president. So these are the vice presidents in my lifetime. I'm not going. I'm born in '79. I'm not going to go there with Carter because what's the point? So yeah, that's what just annoys me. I don't need you to pander to me. Like, I got, you know, um, there's a Puerto Rican woman on the court, Sonia Sotomayor, but she's horrible. She doesn't, there's nothing that her and I agree on. I mean, she was the idiot who said 100,000 children are sick in hospitals with COVID when they were talking about the COVID mandate. She obviously was super ill-informed, and she still made her decision based on that bad information. So skin color, ethnicity doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You should have the best people for the job, especially for a job like this position where it's a position for life. Now, with that being said, there are some excellent Black women candidates um, that I'm going to disagree with politically, but I know who the Democrats are going to put in that for them makes sense for them. I've read one that she was appointed by Obama to the U.S. Court of Appeals, which is right before the Supreme Court. So yeah, I may not like her politics, but she's perfectly qualified. She's got both her undergraduate and graduate from Harvard. So just like everybody else there, she's has an Ivy League law degree. So or law degree and or undergrad, whichever. Anyways, I think Amy Coney Barrett was from she got her law degree from Notre Dame, I think. But yeah, this is what they do to throw you some red meat to go, hey, look, vote for me because I got some. Look, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Putting a Black woman in there, it's not a bad thing. It's, it gives Blacks, both, men and women, someone to strive for. Now you have, you have Justice Thomas, and if you have this, I think her name is Jackson. I can't remember the first name off the top of my head. But yeah, if you have both of these people in, now you have a Black male and female for people to look up to go, look, this is what I could strive to be. I get it. I totally understand. It's like we haven't had we have a Spanish Puerto Rican Supreme Court justice, but we haven't come close to a Spanish um, um, candidate for president. So the closest we came was Ted Cruz. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. It's like when Ted Cruz ran for president, my first choice was Rand Paul. Didn't matter to me that Ted Cruz is Cuban. Didn't matter one bit. I agree more with Rand Paul than I agree with Ted Cruz. But you got to look at these candidates, and you got to vote. Especially, you got to vote locally. You cannot ignore your local leaders. They are the ones that affect your daily life more than the president will. You look what's going on in New York with the crime surge, and you got these DAs that are letting, for example, if someone robs you at gunpoint, wants to charge them with petty larceny, which is a misdemeanor, which will get them just under a year worth of prison time, where armed robbery is rightfully a felony, and that'll get you a long time, like I think like 10 years in jail. Okay. That's the problem when you just vote based on party. Look what you got by just voting party or just voting against someone. without knowing what you were voting for. Or I should say, Biden ran that he was going to be a moderate, and you can see from all what he's done in his first year that he's totally not run as a moderate. He's been radically left. And even, I shouldn't say this, he's ran left, but for the radical left, he still hasn't run left enough. He hasn't, for the irony of these people who called Trump a dictator and fascist and all this, the Democrats are trying to get rid of the filibuster just because they want to pass a law. They want to change voting laws to make it easier for them to what? I say cheat, because I go, at the end of the day, if they don't ask me for an ID to vote, I'm going to feel a particular way about that. People should need to have to show their ID to vote, period. You got to prove who you, and then these people who go, voting needs to be easy. And I go, no, voting shouldn't have to be, it shouldn't be too easy. I'm not saying that needs to be super hard, but I'm not saying it should be super easy. It should, I don't want lazy voters. I don't want people who, could be easily influenced by others. Like, oh, get your mail-in ballot so I could tell you who, so I could tell you who to vote for. No, bullshit. Look on the ballot, know what, let's say what questions are coming up, what, who's running in the primaries, what party you register to, and be careful when you register independent for people who don't like either. Okay. And the reason I tell you that is because what screws you up with voting independent is that in most states, you cannot vote in the primary. Some states, as an independent, you could vote in a primary, in either party's primary, but for the most part, you can't. So make sure you just pick a party. So like that, whichever party you agree more with. So like that, let's say you're fairly moderate and you flip back and forth. Okay, know who's running. If there's a you're registered Democrat and you see that there's a socialist far left candidate running against a moderate, then vote for the moderate. Same thing with if you're on the right. You get some extremely right-wing candidate versus a moderate right-wing candidate, you vote for the right-wing candidate. That's it. That's what you do. Forget who forget the party and see the candidate, see the people who are running. Because, like I said, you gotta, your city council, your state legislature, these people, your school boards, these people are going to have more of an effect on your daily life than the president. But people only care about voting for the president every 4 years. So, come November this year, make sure you vote. But before that, find out when your primary is. Find out when the people are running in their primaries. So like that, you see which one you want to vote for. But whatever you do, don't vote based on, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Black, I'm Italian, I'm Irish. Don't vote for an O'Reilly just because, oh, he's Irish, so I'm Irish, I'm gonna go vote. No, don't do politics like you do sports. Okay, don't give them that type of loyalty. Because at the end of the day, politics is not the same thing as sports. Don't treat it as such. Okay. That being said, like I said in the beginning of the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. On the right, you can follow me either on YouTube or Rumble. That's where I post. You can interact with me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Gab, Telegram, Clout Hub, all of them. You name it, I have it. All right. That being said, have a good one, everyone.